one's doing anything about it, and no one's ever gonna do anything about it. Because he was just Hector from the Heights, and they're the fucking cops.
Damn.
Dude.
You have to believe that someone will find his killer, okay? We have to believe it. You understand?
That man is
Daredevil.
Frank.
Oh, yes, Frank Castle. Oh, the mural.
The mural. Yep. What does Muse do?
He basically makes art out of the bodies of his victims.
Oh.
The complexity of that aside, we're here because they arrested you.
Could it have been a scroll?
Nope. And the bigger problem we have is your rap sheet.
How come you got...
Let's just keep him off the streets for 35
Come
days.
on, Sophia. You really want to prove a point with some stolen caramel corn on Latvian Heritage Day?
How'd you know I was Latvian?
Pretty sure you snuck a piece of honey cake for breakfast.
Wow.
It's a blind thing. You know, heightened senses and all.
I can imagine wanting to know a little bit more about that.
Plus, with a name like Azola.
Is that Riz?
Given your cultural
Oh, yeah,
sensitivity,
most
very
definitely.
impressive news, I'll give your guy one time only last and final offer. Mr. Bradford can have 10 days.
Thank you. See, I knew you believed in redemption.
Oh, I don't. I don't. But I do hope he appreciates you.
Thank you.
man,
That lingering look.
That guy's good.
Frank?
What?
No, that might make sense. Oh, it's this fucking guy.
Wow.
Just you. An attorney who assaults a police officer? Who obstructs an active investigation? Not something that the Bar Association's gonna take lightly. That's my meeting. Not to mention some of my more excitable colleagues on the force.
Only, you'd have to bring a few more than the last time we met, wouldn't you?
Oh my, talk your shit, Matt. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god.
I think he'd rather be in marriage counseling. They're really hanging on that course.
Just wonderful.
Oh, he's good at it. He's good at this.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Now for our next one.
No. That's fine. You were wonderful.
Same song, but in Latvian.
Single kill shot at extreme close range and no one found the casing.
It does kind of.
Or they grab the casing.
Oh. Oh. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Or roll down because he's on a hill.
Is he gonna run into Muse? I think he is. No? Oh.
Nah, it was way too early for
I thought
that.
he was gonna venture down.
He found it.
He's gonna lean on the Frank, isn't it?
Oh, because it's the type of casings that he uses or something like that.
Something super specific like that, yeah.
Does he know where Frank is?
Starting to look like it.
Maybe he was always keeping tabs on him.
I know you're in.
There he is.
There he is, the man himself.
What are you doing here?
Hey, Ben, good?
Oh god.
Clyde and mine were shot, Frank. Guess whose logo I found on the bullet on, buddy. What are you doing down here? Day after day, just hiding out?
I ain't hiding from shit. You walked in that
Plotting
door.
your next
I'm right
kill?
here. You goddamn right.
Great, how's that working?
You want to go out there on the street, have at it. But I do not have time for your candy-ass hero shit. Is that clear?
I'm gonna come back another day, Frank. Maybe catch you at a better time.
You come at me with that horse shit about saving lives. How about that friend of yours? You saved his life.
Oh.
You lost him, didn't you, Red?
It's not about him.
Then say his name.
It's not about him. It's not about him.
Ah, for Christ's sake, say his name. Say his name, you coward. Say his name. It's not about him. You hate yourself. He's eating you up because you ain't done a goddamn thing about it.
God damn it, God damn you.
He brings the worst out of him.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
What are you sorry for? First honest thing you did, Red.
It's not about him.
No.
I ran him down.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
I did what I had to do. I let the system take care of the rest.
Oh, you and your goddamn system. You and your goddamn system. Christ! So what now? Every day Bullseye goes to the chow hall, eats his slop. You know he gets to breathe the same air that you breathe. You feel good about that? He got life! How about old Foggy? He got life.
Mmm.
I freaking love the dynamic between those two, man.
Mmm.
They did a really good job.
When I was a boy,
Mmm.
I learned
There we go.
by watching my father.
How to
Are we gonna see his vault? Oh yeah.
He wants to get back in the game.
Let's get back in the game.
No, he has a full plate this time.
You notice that the paintings down there, the one with at the end of season 3, the blood splatter that he got.
Yeah.
Wonder if
Yeah,
this is
that's
where he
the one from
goes all the
season-
time. Ooh,
Oh.
it's Adam.
Oh, it's out. Yeah, it's out.
I was told forgiveness is the highest form of love. I wonder, would you agree with that, Adam?
More.
Muse. Yes, the paintings. Yes. I mean, oh, whoa, that's rough.
Oh, we're getting to like some sadistic territory.
No,
aren't
this
we?
is Muse. This is
Holy crap.
he paints with people's blood.
That's crazy.
Okay, all right.
Oh man, dude, what an episode! This show is just—it's delivering every time, and
Every
I'm
time.
loving it.
I'm loving it, dude.
Uh,
Everything. Oh my gosh. It's
Quick thoughts, and then I want to know your favorite moment.
quick thoughts. So the first thing I'm gonna think of is Daredevil,
Mhm.
and Punisher, and their conversation. The first bit of that conversation, if you or anyone else didn't pick up on it, it's kind of like similar to the conversation they had in season 2, where he's like, so you run around, with your as if this is like your playground, like like it's Christmas or something, and and he gives a whole like they're back on the street and then the same thing. It's kind of reminiscent of that conversation they had, which is I like that. It's a little bit of a callback, but a little bit of a reflection and like symbolic, thematic in a way. So appreciate that. I think that's good. A lot of this episode was indeed set up. This episode went by so quick. I feel like that's
Yeah.
every single like episode at this point, but man, it's just again good. Again, showing more of like Daredevil's like life as a lawyer. Get to doing like things that aren't as like big and like bombastic as like what we expect from like big cases, like he was in the his Punisher case or his more recent White Tiger case. It's good to see him do things like lawyering outside of just like the big moments. So that's good to see. It's also like showcases him in his obviously the empathy that he has for people, like even somebody that he was representing that was kind of like obviously doing something terrible, but you peel back the layers and it's just like another guy who's just like he's hungry for food, and when you eat garbage all the time, it's nice to eat something good once in a while, and it is kind of fucked up. Showing his like kind of his detective capabilities is also very good. It's kind of seemed like it's implied that he knows where Frank has been this whole time, so I guess that's not a very well-known secret. The dialogue between Frank and him is just spectacular as always. It's finally revealed why Fisk's fists are always like bloodied or injured, and it's obvious that he did do something to Adam, that he wasn't going to kill him, but he wasn't going to let him, like he wasn't going to kill him, but he wasn't going to make it easy for him either.
Still locked him up and keeping him in a practical dungeon is crazy.
Essentially, yeah. And the worst part is like he can't let him out either, because it's like if he does, what's the first thing that's going to happen? Oh, Fisk kidnapped me. Mayor Fisk kidnapped me and left me in his dungeon for months, for years. So the only thing I could think of at this point that's going to end up with that character, and I think we saw in the trailer, is there shots of in that little dungeon basement thing, whatever the hell he has, is that he's going to fight Adam, and he probably will kill him eventually, but to note, another thing that I picked up on was like, obviously the end, it kind of showcases that Fisk and Matthew are really, they're slowly inching their way towards being who they were, before. Matthew has his vaults full of like helmets. Fisk is obviously keeping a guy prisoner somewhere, locked up. And he has the painting.
Vault of paintings,
yeah, his painting from like season 1 and 3.
It was nice seeing that, like the duality there.
It's the duality, but it's like them also both going back to their like, in some way, they're inching their way closer back to where they were before. Fisk being this like ruthless.
Yeah, didn't Fisk say something to him when they were in the diner about like, that's always who they're gonna be or something like that?
Yeah, he said something like that. The line I remember most is that I love a man who tries to rise above his nature. And the nature of them is that they are violent individuals and they love to hurt other people. Fisk a little more so than Matthew, but Matthew still has that like that edge to him, and even like Frank was kind of alluding to that in their conversations, like you wanted to do something, you wanted to hurt that guy, and even Fisk said that in their conversation. And as much as Matthew tries to say no, that's not me, that's not who I am, that's not what I like to do, but deep down we know that he, at least in the comics and like in his history of the character, he likes to punch people, he likes violence.
I think Fisk and Murdoch carry like this heavy burden of anger, and then they both let it out and through violence, but one is like through crime and then the other is through justice, basically. So it's like they both carry like the same thing that they need to let out, want to let out, and then they let it out through the same way, but from different points, like I guess from like I don't know, different it for different reasons, I guess, or through different outlets, I should say. I I don't know, but like Fisk through. I mean, he's just bad, and then Matt through um, Justice, but like almost like using Justice as a scapegoat to do that, I guess.
I also got to mention shout out to Bernthal and Cox. Their performances were great. I mean, I saw Matthew was almost crying, and I was like, man, I'm about to cry too.
He was choking up.
He was choking up. And, there were some tears coming out. He's like, man,
yeah.
I was like, man, I feel the same way. I'm about to cry too. Like, seeing Matt cry, it's like he always has this level of stoicism, or he's always like very very charismatic in his sadness and grief, and it's nice to see him like open up whenever the few times he does cry like that. It's like, man, that's that stuff, man.
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing who really was the dirty cop that killed White Tiger.
Yeah.
I feel like that's still a plot point that still needs to be like addressed.
Mm-hmm.
And that was interesting to me because you have BB who's out here interviewing like the streets, and nobody's talking about the fact that White Tiger just got shot in the street. And it's like, it's like Matthew saying, like, nobody seems to care that this guy dies, and it's just like it's kind of a really sad situation with him still, where it's like even though he did all these great things, now people are moving away from it. It's like, oh, what's the next thing? And I guess that's kind of realistic to our world. It's like, oh well, that sucks. Anyways, next to the next story, and it's like, man, that sucks. But man, this episode has been great. When again, like people were saying, oh, the dialogue's never gonna be as good as the original show, and I'm like, man, every single episode there's something else, and I'm just like, yeah, no, this is just as good as the better parts of the original show. I enjoyed, especially I already said it before, I especially enjoyed the back and forth between Frank and Matt. I feel like every time they're on screen together, it's just the best that the MCU really has to offer.
I think that was honestly my favorite moment of the episode, and I'm gonna go on. I'm just gonna assume that that's gonna end up being a lot of people's favorite moment, because one, the writing for the dialogue was just top notch. The delivery and the acting by John and Charlie is just top notch, phenomenal, really good. And then of course, I mean, there was. I feel like Matt just not really able to talk to people about Foggy's death. In the way he was able to with Frank, because he, there's the Daredevil side to him. And also Frank living through, having that same experience. And then they kind of, it's like them kind of connecting over their PTSD of loss and their trauma of loss. And then that was, I think that was able to kind of open the gates a little bit for Matt, and kind of we see, like you mentioned, we see him get emotional, and then we see them connect over this, and then see him kind of opening up and really talking about, or I guess trying to, it's like there's a reality or a truth to him that he doesn't want to face. Like he wants, like he doesn't want to acknowledge the shadow side of him, and he wants to focus on, no, we did the right thing in what we did. We did what was justified. But that small part of him like wishes he could have killed Bullseye for good. And Frank sees that, and he knows it because he lives it. And so having that dialogue between those two characters, and seeing, like, Matt facing that, was really just a raw moment, and I really enjoyed that. And those are the like kind of small moments I love, just in like any media, but especially when it comes to superhero movies. Where right now, there's just a lot of we got a lot of good movies and a lot of good shows, but there's also a lot of fluff in those movies, and they don't really get deep like that. Those are moments that I really really appreciate. I also really liked a lot of just character moments throughout this episode, um, with with Wilson, with Wilson Fisk. You can see him like getting annoyed and frustrated and angry. You can see it in the emotions of his hands, in his facial expressions. But like, and it's tense because we know what he's capable of. We know his character. We know he's very much prone to violence and hurting people when he gets mad. And he very much wanted to kill Daniel. That's his name, right? Michael Gandolfini's character.
Yes,
he very much wanted to put his hands around his throat and kill him right then and there. But then seeing Daniel like go, yo, I screwed up. I know I did, and I going on his little spiel. You can see in Frank or in Fisk's facial expressions, which great job by Vincent D'Onofrio. I mean, doing stellar work, being Wilson Fisk. You can see him start to relax and then kind of like calm down and kind of like he's just a kid, man. After all the years of Wilson Fisk has had with like dealing with unreliable people, untrustworthy people, and being in a life of crime, you really have to have a heavy hand when it comes to ironing out wrinkles. But in this case, he opted, I mean, obviously he can't, get like that in this scenario. But just being able to see that, like those small moments in the small details in the acting where he lets up and, he gives him another chance. And he kind of subsides and lets his anger go, but it's just, I don't know, man. Small things like that that can really uplift characters and a story. And they've been doing a really good job with that this season. And those are small things that I just noticed throughout this episode. It's nice that we are in episode 4 and the story's moving along. Characters are getting development, and there's still things that have been opened or like teased, I guess. There's still things that have been teased that we haven't fully explored yet. And that is, the dirty cops wielding or brandishing the Punisher symbol. Seeing, I think Frank, he had a moment there at the end where it kind of almost looked like he was considering. He was kind of thinking a little bit more about what Matt was asking of him, and going out and like addressing this thing with the cops and seeing who's the one that shot White Tiger and rooting out the corrupt cops that are brandishing his logo for all the wrong reasons. So I think that's obviously that's a road we're going down, and a lot of us are looking forward to that. And then of course you have Muse, so stuff that's still very much left to explore. And I think the pacing has been good enough to where I'm not worried at this point about how they're going to wrap things up. I feel like things are going at a good pace. Things are being revealed in a timely manner. And with 5 episodes left, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 5 episodes left.
Yeah, I think episode 9.
There's plenty of time to kind of wrap things up. And then, of course, whatever they're going to do to lead into season 2. But loving it, man.
Absolutely.
Born Again, they did a lot. A lot of work in production, rewriting the series. Whatever they did, reshooting. So it's paying off. The wait's been worth it. Can't wait for next week. 2 episodes back to back.
Yeah, back to back next week.
Thought it was this week, but it's next week.
Mhm.
But yeah. Any final thoughts?
Any final thoughts? I'm excited to see where Muse goes. There are so many conspiracies as to what he's going to contribute to the show. I see people are saying, "Oh, he's going to kill Vanessa. Oh, he's going to kill what's her fate? What's his girlfriend's name? Matthew's girlfriend's name.
I forgot.
But essentially, you know, Matthew's girlfriend as well.
Yeah.
It's nice that they're not like fully going in. It's like he's in the background though, and there's like you get little glimpses of what he does, and he's been spotted
Mhm.
throughout the episodes. He's the one that's doing the graffiti around essentially around the city. When you see in episode 1 where you see the guy painting Fisk, that's Muse. Or if you see like the triggered outfit or the white tiger thing, there's a good possibility that that's Muse, and he's always.
It said Muse next to that mural.
It did. So it's like in a way, it's like he's always in the background, always in the episode, even though he's not a contributing member. He's always there, and I love when shows do that and movies do that, where it's like, oh, you could see his influence over the show, over like he's always in the background, always watching, always doing something. And I don't know too much about Muse, but from the little I know, he's very much a Batman-esque, very eccentric and demented and sadistic type of villain who enjoys like bringing pain to others. And like you could see the people he has bodies hanging along where his little lair. He paints with blood. That's why he had that whole like cauldron of blood that was just coming out, because that's just it's the type of sick shit I think the MCU kind of needs sometimes. You know, kind of the balance with the the Ant-Mans and the Thor Ragnaroks and Love and Thunders, just to give that little grittiness.
Marvels.
Yeah, the Marvels. Just give it that grittiness to.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was like, again, the dialogue, Matt and the Punisher, like bringing up, oh, Foggy, you're not even saying his name. Say his name. And it's like, it's. I love it that Frank has always been the one that wants to he wants Daredevil to break. He wants him to kill. He wants him to be just like him. And Matt tries so hard to not cross that line. And it's so fun to see them go and bounce off of each other. So yeah, I can't wait to see more of the Punisher. I know we're probably going to see more. There's no way he's just going to allow a bunch of, despite what he says in the dialogue in this episode, there's no way you're going to make me believe he's not going to see what these dirty cops are doing and just let things be. So I'm excited for the next couple of weeks. This show has been great. I have no complaints, really. Even the fluff, quote unquote, there in these episodes, it just helps build the world, to build the characters, to show them what they're doing every day, and not just the important moments, but the downtimes, like him going to elementary schools and listening to choirs preach. It shows you the monotony of it, of being a mayor, but also it kind of pushes Fisk towards that that side of him. He's like, I want to choke somebody, as you can see throughout the episode. So I love how they do the characters. I'm loving how they're building them up and giving us little nods that they're still the same characters we know, but they're trying to be different, but they're just not. They're just, this is just their nature. And to see the scroll comment was funny as shit. I won't lie.
That was good.
Because Marvel at this point is get us away from the Skrulls and Secret Invasion, because we don't want anything to do with that. So to see someone mention that, especially in a show like Daredevil, it's pretty funny. I won't lie.
Yeah, it is. Small details like that, just kind of reminding you of the interconnectedness between these stories is nice. All right, man, that was a great episode. We're loving this series. We want to know your thoughts on on episode 4, and probably I kind of want to hear what people have to say about the small character moments between Fisk and in his world, and
Matthew in his world.
Matthew and Well, Matthew and Punisher
As well,
Frank.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
specifically. But yeah. So, cool. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next week.